Hi guys, thanks for joining today's call. Today I'll be running through a few really cool tips and tricks to set up your own business in a very short time. The cool thing is we actually have a real life example that has come to us. So just to provide a bit of context, the whole point of this call is to give you guys insights on how you can quickly use existing tools out there to not only help set up the landing page, set up the registration form, but set up a nice design to start testing your idea, getting user signups, getting the right name and getting the right branding out there. So a few tools that I'll be walking through today would be Typeform, which is a really sexy form builder that we always love to use. We'll be using Strikingly, which is a very simple landing page builder, which I think everyone should really learn the skills to master that. And thirdly, hey Simba, I'm here. Thanks for joining the call. I'm just going through the type of tools that we're going to be working with. I'm also going to show you some of name finders, color finders, palette finders, so you can start getting your designs out there. And the whole purpose Can you hear me now, Simba? Hello? Cool, loud and clear. I think you're on mute as well, Simba, so why don't you unmute so I can test that I can hear you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Good, loud and clear, loud and clear. All right, cool. So I'll just start again. But thanks for joining today, Simba. Today, I wanted to present how to create your own landing page, quick MVP for you to launch your business idea in a very short time. And the reason why I wanted to set this up is there's a lot of QLC candidates who have either done a project or have come to us and said, hey, I want to launch an idea, but I don't know where to start. I don't have the technical background. So today I'll be running through a few tools that we use. It's a combination of helping you set up the landing page, finding design inspiration, also helping you get the right branding, and making sure you have the right social media channels and domain names. So the really good thing about today's session is we'll be using a real life example. So just a quick snippet, we've been approached by a fitness company to help them set up a landing page. So what I'll be doing over the next 45 to 60 minutes is really setting that up, setting up the landing page and really sharing my thoughts, what's going through my head when I'm doing a landing page. It's a really good skill to learn if you can master a combination of design technology, but also using the lean methods of getting something out there as quick as possible. So I'm going to be sharing screen. So I guess just to go through the scope of the project that we're trying to build today, it's essentially setting up a landing page to collect emails for people interested in signing up to an event. The event is quite simple. It's a fitness day event that the company is going to be hosting. It's hopefully going to be catering to hundreds, potentially over 1,000 female athletic yogis, as you call them, and it's essentially setting up a daily setting up a day pass for them to do yoga. And the way that they've been running these short-term gigs in the past, a few in Singapore have been for example Compress Sport. It's a day run. What the project scope is supposed to be is having not only brief information on what they're going to be providing, but also some endorsements and sales to products. The fees, how much they're going to be paying for the registration fee, the race rules, and finally the call to action, which is signing up. So that should be at the end. So similarly, what we're going to be doing is setting up a landing page using Strikingly to share more about what the yoga day event's going to be, and setting up the right form and payment for customers to come in, understand what's going on, put in their details, and pay. So an example that one way to really do this really quickly is looking at existing plays who've done that before. So one website that I ended up finding really quickly is Bliss. So Bliss is an event landing page to buy tickets, and if you look at the flow, it's quite simple. You see, a high level insight into what's going on. You can find out more, which would be a click to more information. The key personnel who are going to be involved, and finally, a band. So you can buy the tickets, sign up now. It goes to a registration page. The two call to actions would be an individual registration, which is to a payment page, or a group registration, which is essentially the same thing. So that's probably an inbuilt form. What I always like to say is, using Typeform and Strikingly, you can make a really good combination of, quickly getting something up, simple, aesthetically pleasing, but also it's quite easy for non-technical people to edit. So what I'm going to do, I'll create a new site on Strikingly. So you can actually create a free Strikingly site. The only problem with that is you still get branding. If you upgrade to a basic use, I believe it's, I think, $16 per month, and that removes all the branding. You get 3 pro sites. And same thing with Typeform. So Typeform, you can create non-branded forms for about $20 a month. So it's very easy to get a website up and running for $16. You can get the Typeform and the payment portal done for about $20 per month, quick and easy. So I'm just going to create the new website. So there's already a few examples of creating websites at the moment. The cool thing about Strikingly, a lot of it is drag and drop. So you don't need to have a technical background to do that. You're able to, essentially pick and choose different designs, pick and choose and delete what stuff you like or don't like. Personally, I prefer, very minimalist designs. So let's take a look at, let's take a look at this example. So you have the scroll, you have the header bar, the what we do, who we are, big media. You have the cover page, you have, the big call to action button. You have some of the sponsors, the people involved, and who's talking about us. So I'm just going to go back and take a look at this design. So this design is very similar as well. It seems to be promoting an app. So you have the logo on the top left corner. You have the banner links on the right-hand side. You have the summary, or maybe you have the summary of what the app does. You have a screenshot of the iPhone. You also have a link to download. You also have the 3 core features. So normally when you go to any startup, you'll have 3 unique value propositions. One might be, buy quickly, create an account, add friends. So it's very simple for a new customer to be able to say, oh, okay, so I like the summary of what the business. Let's see what the key features are. You can also embed your HTML. So if you want to add like a YouTube video, or put in your own pro code, you can copy that in. I don't normally do that. And then finally, you have the social media and the screenshots of the product. So let's go back to the first one that I used and start editing. So the cool thing about building your own landing page is sometimes less is more. So when I first got into doing this type of stuff, I would be really obsessed with the typography, the imaging, making sure that even the images were copyrighted. But in reality, no one really cares. If you spend too much time trying to figure out who owns the image and whether or not you have the right copyright, you're never going to get anything out. So for today, I'm going to be working on the business. Let's call it Fit Quick, FITQICK. First things first. When you find when you want to figure out the branding, firstly look at what your competitors are doing. Look at what's doing well, and look at their branding. So for example, I've been able to find 2 websites that I find really good. So Hom Yoga is a yoga website where you get lifestyle news, you get classes, you have events. I think it's really well designed because it's minimalist. I'm trying to go back to the home page. Just give me a second. So Hom Yoga has 2 branches, one in Australia and one in Singapore. I don't know why it's not going back to the main page, but in the beginning when you launched, it was a very simple image of a female yoga professional, and it had their logo slapped across it. This is the actual main page, so you can see all their classes, their lifestyle, all the call to actions. I like it because it's very simple. It makes it look very classy. It's black on white. The typography is probably Helvetica, so it's very simple. Another competitor is ClassPass. So this is probably more the field that I like to go for, or the field that Strikingly can cater for, because you do have the top banner, you have the call to action, which is creating your email, your postcode to get moving, and then later on it's sharing more information on what the actual event is about. So one thing that I tend to use to check whether or not the domain's available, there's 2 websites that you can use. One is Namevine, and one is Domainer. So Domainer is actually a really good one because it allows you to check different variations of the website. So let's call it Fit Quick. And you'll be able to see a list of all available websites. So FitQuick is not available for .com, obviously, because it's probably a very, very highly sought after 2 keywords. But there's fitquick.sg, which is my core market. So that'll be a good option to purchase. So normally for a domain, it's about $25 to about $70 for the year. FitQuick.sg. I'm not going to purchase it, but I just want to check the price. Once you actually purchase the domain, you can connect it to your Strikingly. So it's about $56 US. Once you buy the domain, you can also check whether or not the social media channels are available. So Namevine does that for you. What you can do is you can pop in the name of your website, so in this case FitQuick, and it'll be able to say, figure out what's available and what's not really quickly. So you have .com's not available, Twitter's not available, Facebook is not available, but if you scroll down, there's a lot of suggestions of what's available. Let's say I want to get FitQuick. As a business, I don't want to spend too much on trying to buy the name or buy the perfect name, or the perfect Facebook or social media handle. The reason why is again, you want to get this as quick as possible, so you don't want to waste time. So what a lot of startups tend to do is they would pick a name and add a variable in front. So it might be get FitQuick, or use FitQuick, or find FitQuick. And the whole purpose of that is because once you get big, it doesn't matter. You can buy out fitquick.com and all the other social mediums. But the point of doing that now is just to get something going. Cool. So I'm not going to be, registering. It's quite easy. You just, register the name and put it under the emails, or buy the domain, create your email, and register under, whatever handle you choose. So let's actually start, getting onto the website. So one, so there are a few things that I need to start putting together, right? One is a quick summary of what it is. So that's, a brief breakdown of what the event is about. Secondly, having the merchandise available. Thirdly, the fees. Fourthly, the sponsors. And then finally, the call to action. And Strikingly actually, makes it very simple for you to do that. So as you can see here, you can choose to, change the logo. But what I want to focus on is actually these sections on the website. So if you take a look at the way that they've categorized the sections, you have what we do, who we are, big media, and add new section. It's actually really easy for you to do that. So I'm going to delete all these selections first. So let's go through the sections that we need done. First is the large cover page with a quick call to action. Second is the what we do. Third is the sponsors. I'm going to try the sponsors. We can probably use this one. Fourth is the call to action. And the reason why these naming conventions are different is because they're quite versatile. You can easily play around with the design, but also, change the naming. So for example, let's have the cover image as the first part. Second part is, what we do. Third is sponsors. Fourth is pricing / call to action. And then, I forgot the other one, which was having the image of the products. So that one would probably be show a big image. So for the purpose of saving time, what I've already done is, started picking out a few of the typography and the images that we're going to be using. So where you can find good high definition photos is from a few different type of websites. So Pexels is really good for stock images. You also have unsplash.com, which is another, very hipster, high resolution photo generating website. So they release a lot of really, interesting, unique photos on a daily basis, and it's free to use commercially and personally. I've already, found a few images that I'll probably be working with. So the first one is this, pair of Nike sneakers. The other stock photo you probably just saw then was this, female doing yoga. We're probably going to be using that image as the cover, simply because I've seen a lot of yoga websites focusing on, having a real person as the landing page. One thing that I wanted to show, which is a bit on the sideline, but is called colors.co with a double O, or coolers, and it's a complementary color generator. So if you're stuck on picking the right colors, this website actually generates really interesting colors rather than you having to pick off the bat. So what I'll do is I'll randomize. So the event is for females, so I want something a bit more, maybe salmon-y salmon and purple. Our client has also asked to do something more in the purple range. So let's do a few scrolls. That one was okay. Let's try one more. Or we can go, we can always change the colors. So this one's quite nice. So bear in mind the color codes on the bottom corner. That allows you to copy and paste onto Strikingly, and you can change the images based on what you like. So with Strikingly, what you can do is obviously add your custom domain, but you can add SEO description. So this would be what we normally do would have the company name and a brief description of the company name. You also have the site keywords. So the site keywords will be based on what your customers might be searching for. So let's say Fit Quick event, running events in Singapore. So we'll probably hold a separate session, over the next couple of weeks on how to optimize your keywords. But this is something that you can slowly work on quite easily. So I'm just going to update that. So another thing about Strikingly is you can customize the navigation. So you can either keep or remove the header bars. You can display and or remove footers. And you can also get rid of their Strikingly no-go if you upgrade as a pro user, which I have. So what I'm going to do is I am going to replicate a lot of the copy that I found on Compress Sport Run. So it will be about what we do, race information, prizes, sponsors, contact us, and then the social part. So the title here actually generates an update of the tag on the headers. Again, let's try to keep it consistent. Prizes. Pricing. So let's start doing this. So I'm going to remove this. I would probably, so I really like the Hom Yoga design. It's very minimalist. It's very simple. I'm going to see if I can do something similar. So another way to design your logos is very simple. You can go to pixels.com, sorry, pixlr.com. And pixlr.com is essentially a new version of Photoshop. And the reason why I like using it is you don't need to download or pay for Photoshop. You can essentially create your own simple image and build a logo from that. So I'm going to use a very simple design for the logo. Let's call it Fit Quick. Let's take a look at the fonts that they have available. So I think these are all customized fonts. Let's go with Helvetica. And the color that I'm going to be using is the color that I found on color.co. Let's use this one. So you just need to pop in the color there and change the size. So again, the whole point of doing this exercise is to make it quick and dirty so that you can really quickly launch a product. Quick space. without spending too much money or too much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it to look like this and save it. Save as PNG. Let's call it Fit Quick Logo. It's weird. All right, I must be missing something because it's hold on, guys. There must be a window that I'm not clicking on. Okay, this is really strange. Sorry, guys. Just hold on a second. Sorry about that, Simba. Just trying to figure out where the where I'm supposed to be clicking. So I can't seem to find the clickable button here. I don't want to close the restart Safari because it will cancel the video. So just let me keep clicking for a bit further. Hey, can you help me out? Yes. But now I can't click.
What's this?
So I'm trying to save an image, but when I click clicking,
Looks like there's a hidden.
yeah, there's.
I don't know.
Hey Simba, you still there? All right, sorry. I'm just like trying to figure out the hidden link. If I can't get this working, I'm going to set up a second Google Hangouts, and we'll just restart. Is that cool? All right, I'm going to reset Safari. I'll resend you an invitation. Sorry about that.
Thanks. How much of this calamari have you used?
What? Calamari?
Hey guys, so I guess the problem, there's a bit of issues with Pixlr, so I'll just quickly create it on Photoshop. So you can essentially torrent Photoshop, which saves a lot of money. The thing, Photoshop is actually quite complicated for new people. I actually started my design experience with Pixlr, and now as you become more experienced, you understand what these icons do. When you understand what these icons do, it's really easy to pick it up very quickly. Hey Simba, hey, why don't you just keep an open mic and ask questions as you go? So I don't feel as though I'm just talking to myself. So I think Pixlr, it has issues with Safari. That's why it kept crashing. For Chrome, it should be fine. But just to, oh, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. So I'll just be using Photoshop to set up the logo. So I was saying earlier, Photoshop is quite, it's a lot more complicated than Pixlr. Pixlr is actually a dumbed down version of Photoshop. But if you spend time to learn it, it's actually a really strong tool. So what I was doing before I got kicked off was putting together a quick and dirty logo using combination of colors and Helvetica, the logo, so the font. So I'm going to do the same thing here. You can see I'm just really quickly going to be changing the design, making it italic, and putting the size properly. Okay. So another really good website they can use to get inspiration is landbook.com. That's actually a really cool tool. It's basically a collation of some really good landing pages available. So you can get some really good inspiration, and as you can see, it's very simple. Like a lot of these landing pages are very similar. They have the large the large backdrop image, they have the call to action, they have a very minimalist logo. This logo is just literally fonts. So don't overcomplicate your logo. So I'm going to do the same thing. going to make it smaller, and I'm going to remove the transparent background, and I'm going to save it as my logo in PNG. If you save in JPEG, you don't get the transparent background. Cool. Good, that didn't crash. So strikingly, even though I closed it earlier, strikingly should have already saved my site. So that's a site. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to upload an image and upload my logo from the desktop. Where did I save that? So the FitKit logo is here. I'm probably going to have to minimize it because the size will be really big. You can go to image editor. You can change the size. So resize it. I would probably put it at maybe 200. Cool. All right. So let's talk about the color and the branding. So you can change a lot of the styles here. There's already pre-edited styles, but I want to edit some of the fonts as well. So with Strikingly, it's very stock standard fonts. There's only a handful of stuff that you can pick from. So one font inspirational website that you can take a look at is called Typeform.com, and it's a typography geeky website, and you can see a lot of hand curated, hand-picked typography websites, or websites that show good typography. Let's use this serif type of design and change it. So again, you can always change this. It would need a bit of coding if you wanted to have your own. If you wanted your own fonts, you need to add that to the backend CSS. But for the purpose of making this quick, let's just use these fonts. So I think the default font, I'm going to change it. So the default font is up there. And again, you can essentially you should be picking fonts, based on not just what your competitors do, but what your customers would be looking for. In this case, it's probably mid-20s to late 30s women who love their yoga. Also, I'm guessing. So there's three sets of fonts. One is the title font, the header font, and the text font. So the text font would be the top call to action buttons. So let's go with that. All right, let's see if you can change the colors. I'm not sure if you can change colors. Let's leave it as it is. Okay, so let's start making it look more of a fitness looking business. So firstly, let's change the background. As you can see, there's already a pre-made background. They also have some already pre-selected Strikingly images. But what I've done is, let's use this image, save it to the desktop. So this is Dollar Photo Club. So you pay $1 and you receive, I think it's a subscription model, but you get high quality images on a weekly basis. It's also a really cool image stock photo startup. So I'm going to upload a new image. So this is a pretty big one. You'd probably want to resize it on Photoshop or Pixlr. So you can choose to have a light text or a dark overlay or dark text. So I tend to put an overlay, so it pushes, it makes the image, it makes the text a lot more vibrant. Let's actually use some of these copy. So obviously I'll getting my client to be putting in there, providing me the copy, but just, get that in place so it looks a lot more legit. So the large call to action would be thousands of classes, one pass. This is probably, aesthetically speaking, a lot too many words. So let's cut it down. So the interesting thing is you're not able to change the color, which is really annoying. Let's see if you can go to settings and change color. If not, let's just move on. All right. So, back to what we were doing for compressed sports. You have, a quick summary of what the event's going to be. The next thing was, essentially putting a summary of what the business does. So we can put what we do as Singapore's thrilling heritage run. And then in this case, you'd put the dates of when the business is doing their thing. So I would probably remove this because we don't need to have, images. Again, keep it simple, keep it neat. Remember how I said earlier, the whole purpose of this is to get something out. So again, don't focus too much on, getting the perfect design. It's better to have something out than nothing at all. So ideally for me, I would want to change this color to a pink. For some reason, this particular design is only stuck with 3 color codes. So the next one is the sponsors. So I'll be changing the title to sponsors. I'll probably remove this. But as you can see, the layout, there's a few layouts that you can do with this. One is with 2 images, one is with 3 images, and one is with 4 images. So what you can do here is you can remove the text. And the reason why you want to remove the text is because you can just add the logos of your sponsors and link them to that. So let's say these are the event organizers, for example. Let's say 4 images. Let's see if we can get other images from another website. The reason why is, as you can see, these are all white-based logos on a on a dark shaded backdrop. I'm going to go back to the other Bliss and see what other logos that they have with partners. So let's just use these guys as an example. So I'm going to be adding the image of the potential sponsors. First one, the KISS logo. Natural water. Okay, so these guys, maybe we can edit it so there's no circle image. That's a bit annoying. Is that like copying? Or maybe it's the wrong, I think it might even be the wrong one. Content. Okay, I guess that doesn't change things. Let's just keep going. So I'll just add the small 4 sponsors, and then you can link them to the image, link it to their website. You can spend time to clean these things up, but I'm just, given that we're running a bit behind in time. Okay, so you have these, 4 images of your customers. What you can do is add the link to their website. It's very simple. Let's call this KISS 99 or 92. And when they click onto that, it would link to their website. So it's really easy to drag and drop, add images, add links to your customers. So what's the next part? So the prizes. So the prizes, if you take a look at what these guys do, what I'm going to do is save the image. And you'll be able to see that it's just a PDF image of products. Cool. So what you can do there is just add an image, change the prizes, and it will overlay over here. I would probably remove this one. This is so what I would probably do for the customer is make a darker version of the images. So rather than it being on a dark background, it'd be designed for a light background. Here it is. So it'll take some time to load. I'd put a description of items and how to buy it. So the final part would be setting your call to action. It's probably register now, keep it simple, and the pricing. In this case, I'm still waiting for the pricing for the business to come back to me, but let's say it's $40 per entry. And then you'll have like an early bird special. So you have the call to action button. In this case, let's call it sign up. And you have a an upload form for LinkedIn for Strikingly URL. But that's not all we want to do. We want to have a link to Typeform. And Typeform is really cool because you can also add payment using a Stripe payment account. So if I log into an existing our existing QLC, you'll be able to see that we have quite a few Typeforms available. Let's create a new one, user template. So event registration, simple. And what you can do is easily customize this, customize it using the color, customize it using the content, and customize using the images. So in this case, I would probably have, the fun, the Fit Quick event is starting on, X date. It's $50 to register. You can change, the start date, the address, and how to get there. The next part would be getting the name. You can also add an image. I think they have an image here. I'm going to remove it. If you're a company, you can insert their first name and ask for their company's address. But you guys get the gist, right? The cool thing that I wanted to show is the payment part. So what you can do is put in a price. Let's call it $50 US. That would connect to your PayPal, sorry, your Stripe account. And let's just quickly view the Typeform. So with Typeform, you can actually have different types of inputs. So in this case, you have short-term, long-term text, drop-downs, emails, yes or no, multiple choice. So this also captures credit card numbers. You can do that easily. And that captures your payment. So once that's done, you can also add a confirmation email. So that confirmation will be provided from an email that you select. And it could be, thanks for registering for the website. We'll get in touch with you, on next steps. And that's where you can, plug into MailChimp or any other email management software to continue the conversation. So I know that this has been a bit rushed, but what I've actually put together another project using Typeform and Strikingly. So one of the projects is called food.qlc.io. You guys must have come across it in the past, but as you can see, you have the immediate call to action, the register now button, introduction to launching a food business, about the program, what you'll get out of the program, what you'll learn. So these were the three core value propositions that you learn out of the project. A bit about a bit more into why you should be doing this, whether or not this is right for you. So it's adding as much information as possible. Previously, when we had the images of the participants, the sponsors. This is the same thing. So you have the image of Huffington Post and a few other write-ups, testimonials, FAQs, and then finally the call to action. And the call to action is via Typeform. So you have the name, the email, LinkedIn, which is required. And then, a bit of a breakdown, you can add as many questions as you want. So in this case, again, it goes back to, a payment date, a payment to enroll in the course. And once that's done, they get a confirmation email. So that's, a really quick and dirty way to set up a landing page, set up a profile building form builder, and also payment using two very simple tools and some, existing websites to get some inspiration and to lock in the right social media names and domain names. Do you have any questions? What do you mean about company registrations? Right.
Just yeah, in most countries you'll need to register your company, right? Even for you to set up a payment account, you have to register it before you can proceed with this, correct?
Yeah. So my advice to that is, play by ear. Like most of the time, yes, you need to have, a company registration to set up an operational business, but for the purpose of building something quick, getting it out there as quick as possible, don't waste your time on that. The most important thing is testing it with your customer and testing whether or not there's demand. So in the case of setting up a PayPal or Stripe, you can set up a personal account, and yes, you might collect a few registrations, you might get, an inflow of immediate customers, but if that's the case, then I would recommend, registering for the business, which isn't hard anyway. But again, the whole point of this is to set up as many things as possible, as quick as possible, to understand what your customer wants. Do apologize. I know that there was a lot of technical issues, but yeah, I guess it's all about hacking together something that works and learning the skills to, get landing pages and MVPs up and running very quickly. As you see, you just need, a bit of design inspiration. You can, find a lot of images out there, a lot of existing, landing page designs that you can potentially just rip off, tweak it, make it your own. Harnessing these skills really allow you to build quick, fail fast, and figure out what your customers want. So, for this particular project that I'll be doing, it'll be using a very similar approach. The time invested would probably more so be in the design element, because that's a bit more subjective, but actual implementation, as you see, can be very quick. It's just playing around with the right, playing around with the right variables on Strikely, playing around with the right design images that you can find on Pexels, and then, just plugging in your URL. Any other questions, Simba? I'm all yours.
Thanks for the undivided attention. No, I'm good. I liked, even despite the technical difficulties, those actually, it all showed what you should do, what we can do when things aren't working and whatnot. So it was all good.
Perfect. I'm glad
I'll be watching it over a couple of times, I think.
Sorry?
I said I think I'll be watching this recording a couple of times.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll clean it up, but hopefully you have a good picture on the way that what goes through my head when I'm setting up a landing page. Another example, I'm going to show you another example of how it's actually worked out quite well. So I'm going to screen share again. So our UNSW deal that we're running is a partnership that we're doing with a business school back in Australia, and it's the same approach. A bit about what we do, an overview of what's being offered, 3 key reasons why you should be part of the offering, how to get involved, partners, and a call to action which leads to Typeform. Another example that I've also been playing around with is ScrapeLab. So ScrapeLab is, think of it as Uber for data scientists. This was another test that I was doing using Strikingly. So the logo is a standard font that you can find anywhere. The 3 reasons why you should sign up, how it works, the services that you provide, a few key examples, and then post a project, which is again a Typeform. So the purpose of having this quick and simple is, as a customer, you don't want to be thinking too much about it as well. So if you can see, clear value, if you can, see that the offering is very simple and you can see that there's a pricing, it's really easy for you to quickly launch something. And the whole point of that is so that you spend less time on understanding, how to make your site sexy, but more important, understanding what your customers actually want. So that's using Typeform and Strikingly. Maybe next time I'll show you, other ways on how to do e-commerce stuff. I think that's another interesting area that there's a lot of existing tools out there that you could simply set something up and see if it's right for you. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Great. Well, what I'll do is I'll, if you have any questions, other questions, just post on our forum. I'll, clean up this video, and hopefully, you'll be able to get some good information out of it if you do your own thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for your time today, Simba. Take care.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.